Okay, everybody, we're gonna get started. Member Eckhoff? Okay, okay. Oh, okay, okay. Hey, Member Eckhoff, we're starting. Okay, okay. I'll give her a minute. The world's revolving around you. Okay, I call to order the Tuesday, May 20th, 2025 Judicial and Public Safety Committee meeting. A quorum of the members, oh wait, do I do that first? Oh, a quorum of the members is physically present. I will entertain a motion to permit those members not physically present due to personal illness or disability, employment purposes, or the business of the board, family, or other emergency or unexpected childcare obligations to participate by video in or teleconference. Do I have a motion? Okay. And is there a second? Okay, member Short. Okay, we got. Oh yeah, she's not. Okay, hey, Vice Chair Eckhoff, would you like to second that motion? Okay, thank you. Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries and welcome members A. Okay, so can I get a roll call, please?
Chair Evans?
Here.
Member Childress? Member Desart? Member Eckhoff? Member Header? Member Honig? Member Krajewski? Member Ozog? Member Shorzy? Member Tornatori? Member Yu? Member Zay?
Here.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for everybody being here for chair remarks. It's really dangerous out there. A lot of people are stuck in traffic right now. So thank you to our first responders for, cleaning up that mess. And then everybody drive safely. So can I get a motion to approve the minutes from Tuesday, May 6th, 2025? Okay, motion and a second. Any questions or comments on those? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any? Motion carries. Moving on to resolutions, can I get a motion to, oh wait, sorry, I back up. Did we have public comment? Okay, no public comment. Okay. Moving on to resolutions, can I get a motion to approve JPSR 6-25 resolution approving funds to administer the seniors drive-through meal pilot program in the amount of $142,000?
So move.
Okay. Okay, we got a motion and a second, and we have member Ozog and member Garcia.
I just wanted to make it clear, this money is coming from the county to the sheriff's office for this program. That's correct? Or is it out of the sheriff's budget?
Well, I think it's kind of more of a
Kind of technically.
pass-through.
Yes, the money would be coming from, and I'll look to Mary Catherine if I say anything wrong, would be coming from ARPA interest going to the sheriff's office.
ARPA
Yes.
interest.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
Okay, member Garcia and members A, I see your hand raised too. After this.
Yeah, thank you so much. I did talk to members yesterday, and just had a question for under Sheriff Moore, and I don't know if Crystal wants to come to about the parameters of this program. I know we've had many meetings about this, and there was going to be some changes in the age requirement and perhaps income. I just wanted to know what the changes are going to be. Thanks.
Morning. So as we discussed in our meeting, we're going to go with people over 60, definitely living in DuPage County. The poverty level is another question we had. I talked to Mary Keating yesterday. She says the poverty level right now is anybody making less than $1,700 a month. When she gets back, she'll find those numbers for me, and we're going to adhere to those numbers as we all discussed.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we have members A.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just to cattail off of Member Ozog's, this is a joint initiative between the county board and the sheriff's office and the undersheriff. So again, they're going to administer it and we're giving them the money. So I think that was our discussion at the county board that will be, it's a joint initiative between the two of us to feed seniors.
Thank you, members A. Member Yu.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I did talk with Jason about this, and I just want to make clear. So this money is coming from ARPA interest, and I want to know if there's like a clawback provision, because this is supposed to be $71,000 for each year. It's a 2-year program. This is I think these numbers are based on the meals that they're currently putting out, and those meals that are going out right now to the community. But right now, it's not means tested. It's pretty much anybody who comes in through the drive-through and seeks the food. And I think that they're changing it to income eligible, like they were saying. Under Sheriff Moore said, less than $1,700 per month. So I'm just wondering, is there a clawback provision in the event that they don't spend all the money, not all the $142,000, and so that money comes back to us and that we can use that ARPA interest for something else?
Thank you.
Yes, we'll take, we'll make sure with finance, we take good accounting of what we're spending, what we're not spending, and then we'll bring that back. And then what we don't spend, yes, that will come back to the county. Absolutely.
Thank you. Member Ozog.
I'd like to ask a little bit more about the means testing, because at least in DuPage County, $1,700 a month is, I think, a very low income, especially when you look at rent, extraneous, et cetera. Is that required for us to use the ARPA interest, or is that, I'm not quite clear the evolution of deciding to make this means tested when it hadn't been in the past?
No, it's not required to use the ARPA interest money. This was when it was presented, that was what pot of money was suggested to be used. So that's why it's coming through this way.
But that's not a requirement for us. We have no requirements on the ARPA money, isn't that correct?
The ARPA interest, yeah, there is no requirement tied to the
Okay.
ARPA money. That's
Because
just,
if that's the case, I would like to consider raising the means testing. I don't know what criteria you're going to look for from people. So I'm not quite clear how that's going to work.
I don't want
when
to
it's-
speak for the undersheriff. My understanding is he changed it to whatever the desire of the board was. So if the board wishes to change some of those parameters, I imagine you'd be amenable to that.
Any way we can get this done, I'm more than willing to
I mean,
change it.
Theoretically, if you had, for instance, a couple or even $3,000 a month, $36,000 a year income. And when you think about
Correct.
property taxes, operating a vehicle, et cetera, that's still not a whole lot of money. I mean, I'd like to see it raised to at least 2,500, something that reflects even rent. I just found out a brand new apartment building is opening in Glen Ellen, and a studio is $2,500 in this building, is what I've heard. So can we discuss that? Because
Oh,
I think it's
absolutely.
really, I think 1,700 is a really low point to have people be able to utilize this program.
Absolutely. Whatever parameters that we as a collective would like to make, I'm open to that.
Okay.
Just
Can
to
we,
get that right.
how would we proceed with discussing this? Would we do it at this committee or bring it to the board?
Yeah, and I think maybe we need to come back with more data, because if you have a certain number of people that are already at the 1,700 and we're already kind of fulfilling that whole budget, then raising it is not going to get anything else, right? It's just, we won't even have enough meals for.
Is that the situation that you feel like?
Very
there-
unlikely. The original program through the DuPage Senior Citizens Council was twice a month, and we were servicing about 400 people twice a month.
With no income level?
Correct.
Okay.
With that program going by the wayside for other reason, we felt as though we were leaving some people very hungry. So Corporal Mendez and myself decided to pick up the mantle and with you guys' help, get this up and running. And we were okay with bringing it at a smaller levels, because feeding some people is better
Yeah.
than feeding no one.
And what kind of information are you going to documentation are you going to look for?
I was dealing with Mary Keating with that yesterday, but she's out of town. She had some parameters and
Okay.
guide points I could ask about.
Yeah,
And so they met those guidelines, and those were people we would include in our list.
okay.
Sure. May I make a suggestion? Maybe in the next week, me and you work together with finance. We can come up with a sheet of maybe what the parameters are. We can send it to this committee and we can hear any feedback from that.
Correct.
And we
We'll
can
just
go from there.
we'll just augment the one we were initially.
Yeah, the resolution doesn't specify right now what those requirements
Okay.
are. It's just an understanding. So if we pass it today, we can work together to make sure it fits the needs of the.
I'd like to consider 2,000 or 2,500, but again, as you say, we definitely want to serve the lowest income. So I'd just like to have further discussion on that. Okay,
Certainly.
thank you.
Certainly.
Okay, we have member Zay and then member Schwarzy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, I understand Member Ozog's concerns. I think what Member you had said too, when we worked those events, it seemed like people maybe that shouldn't be getting the food were getting the food. And I know that was a concern of Member Schwarzy, that the right people were getting the food, you know, distributed to them. And so I'm sure we can work with Mary Keating and make sure that, you know, we find a number that works for everybody and making sure that the people that really need it, the seniors that really need it, are getting the food that they need.
Thank you, Member Zay. Member Schwarzy?
Yeah, I was just gonna share, Member Zay, myself, Member Garcia met with the Sheriff's Department, and I think Mary Keating was in this meeting as well. And we had this discussion, and we didn't set a specific parameter with regards to money. We just want to make sure that it's appropriate. And there was discussion on if someone qualifies for LIHEAP, that would be and I don't know what that salary is, but the police, the Sheriff's Department are following really human services sort of direction on this. And so we'll make sure that we talk with Director Keating and the Sheriff's Department, make sure we come up with an appropriate criteria. Yes. Mhm.
Great, very good discussion. And, there might be a little bit of, trial and error to see, if there's overwhelming demand, then there's no point in lifting it, right? If there's enough people, too many people at the $1,700 level, then raising it without any more food isn't going to get us anything. But I'll defer to, the sheriff's office to see what happens. All right, thank you so much. Thanks. And thank you for doing this. This is very important. Okay, so we have, any more discussion on that? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to, can I get a motion to approve item 25-1310, transfer of funds from wireless communication services and operating supplies and materials to copier usage, IT equipment capital lease in the amount of $1,271 to cover Toshiba expenses for fiscal year 25. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? Sorry, what's that? Oh, we're still on set. Okay, sorry, 7A. Okay, can I get a motion to approve 25-1344, transfer of funds from contingencies to food and beverages for the senior meals program in the amount of $17,750. Oh, wait, so I didn't. Roll call. There's two items. Okay, so I did not do 6A. Okay, so we did the vote on 6A. Okay. 7A. Okay, so any discussion on that? Okay, member you?
So it's my understanding that the remaining $17,750 that they're looking to move from contingencies to this is for the senior meals program for the remaining year. And I just want to know are they switching to means testing now going forward for the rest of the year? Or is it for the new pilot program and that's not starting till later?
I apologize. The undersheriff just informed me that he got called out for something. I will double check that. My understanding is that they would start right away with whatever this new criteria we need is, but I will double check that.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Okay, now, and I forgot, I wanted to combine, I would like to move to combine items 7B, 7C, and 7D. Or actually, okay. Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. So these are all for photocopies. So can I get I'd like a motion to approve 25-1310, transfer of funds from wireless communication services and operating supplies and materials to copier usage, IT equipment capital lease, and IT capital equipment lease in the amount of $1,271 to cover Toshiba expenses for FY25. I also approve 25-1311, transfer of funds from other professional services to copier usage and IT equipment capital lease in the amount of $6,900 to cover Toshiba expenses for FY 25. Take a motion to approve 25-1312, transfer funds from operating supplies and materials to IT equipment capital lease in the amount of $310 to cover Toshiba expenses for FY 25. This is all for probation and court services. Okay, motion a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Any old business? Any new business? Okay, without objection, we are adjourned. Thank you.